Monday Night Lights, Monday Night Lights, Monday Night Lights. Let's talk about what's been going on at Viking Ice Arena. You've never seen a league so exciting and tough and fast. It simply must be discussed on an equally exciting and tough podcast. What's it called? Monday Night Lights. Yeah. Monday Night Lights. Monday Night Lights. What's been going down on the ice? Who are the leaders? Who are the failures? The Ducks, the Tigers, the Nordiques, the Whalers, the Seals, the Americans, the North Stars. Who's gonna stall? Who will go far and earn the keg? Who's gonna earn the keg? We'll find out in time. Give us a holler on the whoop line.
And the Monday Night Lights podcast is back. Brian Pearcy here along with Jeremy Coan. Crunk is on the way. Hetes bailed on us apparently. A late night of working for him. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Trying to keep the steam up. We got the 11:15 K-Falks game tonight. So
huge matchup against Dolby Realty.
I hate those fuckers.
I know.
So bad. Everybody hates them. So as always, give us a call on the Whoop line, 714-75-WHOOP. Email the show, podcast at MNLHL.com. We have a Twitch account. We have a YouTube account. We have Instagram, Twitter. Find those, whatever. Follow them all. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So, I think Crunk is probably about 5 minutes away. So we can start out with a little bit of news first of all. Apparently the parts are in for the heater that Hazel Park ordered for the other rink.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your faith for actually having something happen with getting the Olympic rink back this year?
I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I think we'll be in the new year. I think we'll be ready. I think we'll be back onto the two sheets.
I personally am not. I don't feel, I would like to think we're not going to have it happen, so I'm not going to be disappointed. And then if we have it, it's a bonus, and then you can be excited about things.
So you're going with the Jeremy Drager Michigan fan mindset, where I'm going to set myself up to not be excited so that they can't break my heart.
Exactly. If you're, if you look at the worst case scenario, you're never going to be heartbroken, and then it's only bonus time for you. So I don't know. My true hope is that maybe by the time spring happens, there's movement in that ice. They put the ice in, the rinks are back, and then hopefully we don't have to look for a new rink coming up for next year.
I could definitely see a scenario where if they're not ready by like March, maybe even before then, like February timeframe, like if they're not ready those first couple weeks in January, they're not gonna fix it. I don't think. I think they're gonna wait until the fall, because they usually take one of the sheets out anyway, or both the sheets out really for the summer. So it's like I could easily see a scenario where they're like, hey, we got it fixed, but we're going to wait to put the ice in. Because it's like, that's got to be expensive, man, to put it all in just for what, like 2 months?
Either way, is if they have a solution, if the rink's back to where it needs to be, and we know it's going to be ready for fall, that's what I kind of care about at this point, because I don't think it would be easy finding new ice. I know we kind of looked this year. Obviously, if we start looking now, to say, hey, we're looking for stuff 8 months from now, there's probably a better chance. But, there's a lot of people that have their, rinks that have leagues that they just run themselves. If there are player leagues, they probably give them first rights. So it's going to be a difficult thing either way. The possibility of moving nights, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather just.
We get a real sweetheart deal with those guys too, price-wise.
Plus, it sounds like price is good, so I don't want to complain. Next thing you know, everybody goes up $100, $150, and then you're not happy. So
I don't know if every rink is going to let us let all 3 games run late consistently with overtimes and shit like that.
Yeah, I know there's a player league. I think it's tonight possibly at Troy. I think you usually see like player league just on the thing, and I don't know. I have doubts if they're letting them go over their hour, whatever time for each ice time. So who knows? So hopefully that works out for us. And then speaking of this ice time, he's not here to give us his side of the story, but there's a little bit of schedule gate going on. I'm going to call it. Mr. Hetes apparently combed through the schedule, was looking at things. The Americans only had 4 games. The Deeks only had 5 games. There was a couple teams with 7. I personally don't think Drager did anything on purpose or malice on there.
No.
I mean, as a Deke, you probably couldn't have complained if you only had the 5 games.
Personally, I don't really mind a late game. I understand some of the guys with kids and such, it's a little bit more challenging. But for me, it doesn't really bother me. Honestly, it gives me a little bit more time to get home and unwind and stuff like that. But yeah, it's no one likes doing it, and I don't think it was intentional by any means. I think Drager intended on we wouldn't. Our hope was we'd only have to go the first month, and then here we are in December.
Yeah, I mean, I personally never actually looked into it real deep because I figured it was fairly fair. And I also, with the hope of when we thought we were going to get the ice back at first, I think the Maroons didn't have an 11 o'clock game at that point.
Yeah.
So it was like sneaking through the cracks, keep your mouth shut, all of that good stuff. And, and then it kind of just happened. And then I think we got bombarded with like 3 out of 4 games at 11:30. So it was rough, but it was kind of pay the piper. I think I might've heard Crunk come in. Did you get yourself a beer yet?
I did not.
Well, if you want, you can go help yourself as well. We're just talking about schedule gate. So
yeah, I would love to hear what he thinks of his goalie combing through the schedule. And
that's not his goalie.
His goalie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The one thing is I think Hetes originally made a proposal of here's how I think you should change it. He's left the Maroons as the only team with 7 games, but gave us an extra 9:30 game because we were old men. And we liked the early stuff.
I think the North Stars technically have an older average age than you guys. No,
I don't know. I don't know. Headphones are over there.
Who's the oldest guy on your team?
I would say Ite.
Oh yeah,
we have Ite. We have Simonelli.
I mean,
his
nickname is Old Man Ite, but yeah.
So, did you have any thoughts on schedule gate?
Fill me in on schedule gate. Oh, with like us
get closer to the mic too.
With us like not having any 11:30 games.
With essentially Hetes going through the schedule, writing a novel on his proposal and what was wrong and what should be the fixes.
I mean, I tried reading it and I lost interest after about 3 lines. So I needed definitely a Sips Notes version on it, but it doesn't really matter what time we play. So, I mean, 11:30 is fine. Like some guys on our team like the 11:30, they can make it to those easier than they can make it to the 9:30. So, I mean, we've had like sub attendance issues no matter the time. So,
I think I'm getting slowly either old, ADD, or a combination of both, where there's something that long and just whatever, I have a trouble with it. So sometimes I'll just copy the message, put it in Microsoft Word, and have it actually read it to me because it just bores me too much because I can't stay focused on what he wrote.
I mean, it seemed pretty difficult. Like it seemed like he made it way more difficult. Like it felt like you could just go through the things. Like it was like with like check marks, be like 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay, got it. Like and just.
It definitely needed bullet points. Yeah,
exactly. Well, we did look into it a little bit. We noticed that the Nordiques and Americans, I think it was 5 and 4. You guys played each other. Coming up this coming week, 2 teams that had 7 games. Played at 11:30. Everybody was cool enough to kind of flip flop it. There was no way we were ever going to make it. So it was 6 all across, just with too many jumbling. So brings the Americans up to 5, Nordiques up to 6, and then two other teams, the Whalers and the Maroons, down to 6. I think it was the best way to handle it. Like I said, I don't see a giant jumble working. Yeah. So Hetes.
Where is Hetes?
I don't know. He said something about an installation of something. So I don't know if that was someone was installing something at his house, if he was installing something somewhere else.
So he's not coming at all?
I don't think so.
I've been a little MIA. So I was rushing to get here. So I haven't seen anything since 6:30. So I just got done reffing a game with Ethan. So we were over in Macomb. So we were rushing over there. Ref the game, rushed him back home, literally kicked him out of the car, and then came down here.
Nice.
So I have no idea.
Some of the best podcasts work out that way.
Yeah, real quick before we kind of get into the main topic as well, the jerseys did come in.
Finally.
So I think we're all happy about that. Crunk, what are your thoughts with, was the wait worth it to have the fancier jerseys?
No.
I agree with you. I personally would like something more of the printed ones that could be or made in the U.S. 4 weeks, beforehand. Coan, agree, disagree?
100% agree. You can still do sweet logos with printed jerseys. Like you can still do custom
100%.
logos. And then this mindset that these guys are like, oh, the reversible jerseys, they're so heavy. Have you put on these fucking Rebirth jerseys?
Yeah.
Like they're like 5 pounds, dude.
Those things are super heavy.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I don't, if they don't want to do like the reversible one, you still want to get a new one every year because that's kind of like cool and like part of the charm. I think like everybody in the league, like part of your sign up fee for being an MNL should be like an extra $30 fee your first time, and you get like a black MNL jersey and a white MNL jersey, and they like, so everybody has those like as backups, and then every year you just do your normal jersey thing, and every time you have a new guy in the league, just get a black and a white.
Yeah.
So like literally every time you play, you could have full whites, full like and a full black that, and
Right.
it costs like $30.
I know.
Totally agree on that standpoint. That being said, I do think they turned out good. Got it up on the screen there. Quick thoughts. I know you're not a red guy, nor Deeks red. What were your thoughts?
I really regret being a stick in the mud for the past like 5 years, making Panty do Deke blue all those years, because red looks pretty freaking sweet.
The reds are pretty freaking sweet.
And they hit it with like the right shade of red.
I agree there. I thought the reds were going to look pretty good. And then when I think the first time I saw Drager with it on, I actually said they looked better than I thought because the red was darker.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm totally sold on the socks with the blue, like the white, with a little Nordiques or whatever logo on them.
The Fleur de Lis?
Whatever that is.
Let me see.
I think it's too much of the of the logo, right? Because we got it on the sleeves, the chest, and the stripe. But in general, I think it was very well done, and I love the shade.
Yeah. Next one was the Whalers. Same jerseys last year except a green.
Yeah.
I mean, the logo, I like it. I think it's a good logo. I would have liked to seen a little bit more change on the jersey personally.
Slight darker shade of green.
I agree with that as well. I think it's a little off from the Whalers, true Whalers green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different. I mean,
yeah,
I
like
guess
that logo,
that's the way
though.
of making it a little bit different, right? I mean, like I had the old, like my first season in MNL was the old green, like Whalers jersey. So, I mean, if you had that, like, you know, it might want to keep something different too, like change the color scheme slightly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we had the Seals. Seals went with white, pretty much the same jerseys last year, except black as well. I don't mind the white. I think it's a clean look. It's hard to go wrong with a white.
I'm such a sucker for clean traditional jerseys. Like I fucking hate these color rush themes that every jersey, like every team's trying to do. I think it's obnoxious. I think it looks like roller hockey.
I love it.
Oh, I hate the roller hockey look too.
I don't know.
I'm not saying roller hockey. Like
it looks like roller hockey. Like when the Red Wings rolled out against I think it was Toronto when they played in the outdoor game in Toronto, and they wore like the white gloves. I was like, this looks so dumb.
I mean, I think for one game, like I mean, it's kind of cool.
Okay, yeah,
but I mean, for that one, but
yeah,
no, I think I kind of like some modern looks to it.
Yeah,
like,
but I think the Seals really knocked it out. I mean, it's a cool logo, and like I said, I'm a sucker for clean jerseys.
The North Stars, they went with the old school LA Kings look, so I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's a little tough, obviously, with them being an original team. You know, now they went almost a military / Kings feel last year. I would have liked them maybe to pick military last year, Kings this year.
Right.
But I like this jersey better than last year's.
It looks a lot better in person than execution. When I saw the initial designs, I was like, maybe I'm just having flashbacks to the Seals piss yellow season, but like I'm always a little afraid to do yellow jerseys, but it looks really good in person.
Yeah, that first year Seals yellow was awful. I actually like the brown and yellow though.
That was a good look.
The brown pants and everything. I dug that, so call me crazy. We had the Americans. I think the logo's cool. I like the look of it. I would have maybe liked a slightly darker gray, but that's always a tough call. It's tough with this. I don't know if that was tough, if it's tough with the Seals or not. I think there are enough difference to not mix up, but I could see someone bitching and complaining about it.
I mean, we just played them on Monday, and
it was okay.
I didn't notice it. At least I didn't have any issue. No one else, I don't think, complained about it. So it was enough of difference.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the jersey is the shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulders.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's almost like the Apollo Creed hat that he wears to the ring in Rocky 3.
Yeah. I love the logo. The logo's really cool. Like,
yeah, we liked it. We tried to switch it up a little bit.
It's sweet, and like you guys could,
like, it actually the the like striping was actually supposed to be diagonal. I guess like Rebirth couldn't do it.
Oh.
And so like it would have been like a little bit different. So.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I think it's really cool. And you can keep that same logo and rock it on like a really dark blue. That would look really sharp.
That's what
and
I'm
I think
like.
that
I
would
would
like pop his beard a little bit more.
like the last game like we played before like we got the jerseys in. Like I was in the locker room putting on my pants and literally the pad just fell out of the pant. And I'm in there frantically like trying to like hockey tape my pant back together. And so that gave me the excuse to go buy blue pants to match the jersey. So
Nice.
Perfect.
And then the Tigers, I think it's a classic, clean look.
Very classic.
I still think I would have rather preferred the LSU colors, but I think that's an option coming up in the future for them if they want. Well, that was the thing that actual the LSU colors, I think, were originally is a concept that was shown to the Tigers. Like, no, we want a black. I think they looked at a dark black, a blue, and then someone gave a purple. I really like that, but
Yellow
it gives them
and
options in the
and-
future.
That could be pretty cool. As I just got done saying, I like traditional hockey jerseys, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, a purple jersey would be pretty dope.
Well, I was actually thinking with the North Stars, right, with like the crown logo, they could almost go like that with like the Lakers colors and have like that'd be kind of
well, the Kings
would be
did
pretty
that
cool.
back in the 70s, so that's part of it as well. They were actually purple and gold a lot. Well, they had a darker purple color for a while as well. Are they back to black and silver?
Who's
I don't
that?
know.
The Lakers?
Kings.
Oh, the Kings? I think they're back to wearing their black. And silver.
Okay. And then last but not least, we have the Maroons going with the teal and maroon. I don't think Serta liked them. Saw Serta going on the ice after last inning, and he was kind of like, "Whoa, Pearcy, that's a bold look," or something to that realm, where it was like he was trying to be nice, but in his face, I was like, I don't think he's a fan, but I don't know. I think they look sharp. I really like the crest on the shoulders.
I think they're cool.
You know, I think
really
they're kind of could be hit or miss on people's taste, but you know, what are we gonna do? Go maroon? 100% maroon every year.
Right. I think it looks really cool. And I was showing some friends, and they instantly brought up your deep cut reference on the Mighty Ducks as your inspiration for this jersey. And I was like, dude, I've seen this movie a million times, and I still don't know what you're talking about. So I have to go back and watch it.
It was the Minnesota. I don't even remember, but it was the team Gordon Bombay played for when his minor league little mini career before he hurt his knee again. So,
someone I talked to was like, yeah, it's Gordon Bombay's minor league career. And I was like, dude, what are you? Sure.
Whatever you say, buddy. So now that we've went over the jerseys, we've talked about some other news. I think the main event of the evening is we had a trade. So that trade was between the Americans and the Maroons. The Americans in the deal get Turtle Tim and Q-Tip. The Maroons get Judge and Simonelli.
Should I mediate this?
Yeah, why don't you?
Okay. Who approached who?
You
initiated it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay.
I guess
You're looking. I mean, I don't blame you guys, right? You're trying to make a change.
I guess from my point of view is I don't know how much Antioch was there, but it was a Doug Crunk, I think, start negotiation because I'm sitting there working and all of a sudden I get a text message like from Doug, what do you think of this? And it wasn't 100% what the offer was. So don't want to always say all those names.
Right.
But I'm looking at it. I'm just like, I don't necessarily think this makes us better.
Okay.
Type of thing. And I made a slight modification on it. And what if we offer them this back? And then it sounded like a little while later, it's like, sounds like they like it. What do we think?
Okay.
And so I guess kind of then let's move over to Crunk of kind of how his side was looking or working.
Yeah. What was the Americans camp like?
I mean, the Americans camp after our, crushing loss on Monday night was, we've tried everything, right? We've tried different line combinations, playing, different guys playing different positions, like every combination, everything we could do. Like, so, I mean, it would just be ridiculous for us to just keep trying that again. And so we've got to give ourselves a shot, right? So, Antioch and I made the decision to start putting feelers out to see if we could switch things up. And I took that as I'm going to start making trade offers to everybody in the league. And I literally between Monday and Tuesday started texting every team with the exception of one or two trade offers, trying to get something, at least just the conversation started. And Our deal came together pretty quickly. Yeah,
That was really quick. I mean,
earlier in the season, they had inquired about some Manelli, so I knew that there was some interest there. So they were one of the teams I approached when we decided we needed to make a change.
it's hard, right? Because like, I would say all 7 goalies are relatively level, right? So it's like you're gonna have a hard time finding a partner to make a trade for goalies, right? Because I think every team feels fairly comfortable with their goalie setup. So it's like, okay, maybe you're a team like the Nordiques that are a little bit more like staunchy on defense, but like where we have like one of the lowest scoring totals. So it's like, okay, but are we willing to give up defense? I'm sure you guys were kind of in that same boat where it's like, gosh, like what do we give up? And like,
I mean,
where do we make the move?
And that's really, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, let's be honest, not like we were coming from a position of power here. So it was, I mean, especially with the fucking Tigers like winning 2 weeks in a row.
They've gotten a little hot.
And I mean, that kind of really forced our hand. I mean, so I mean, ultimately, no matter what happens, like we still control our own destiny. We have 2 games against the Tigers left, and we have the tiebreaker. So like those games are going to be super important. But them winning the last 2 games and us not, we had to just switch something up. And we just really tried to make. I think I don't know if any other things will come out. I mean, but like everything I offered to any team was like super fair.
Yeah,
like I never was
you
like
you weren't trying to like.
I wasn't trying to like
take all my benders and I want your first rounder. For sure.
Is Proctor available?
Exactly. I heard Matt Taylor wants to come back into the league. Right?
Yeah. I really think this 1-for-1 deal with Proctor would help both teams out.
I mean, ultimately, I know Proctor for Maki doesn't seem fair, but
on paper, but
I figured at least for half a season, let Proctor sub every week.
Right.
Proctor's good in the locker room, but Mackey is great in the locker room. So
that's true.
That is true.
Now, I guess I'm gonna have a question for Crunk then. Did Turtle have any idea about this? Because me and Doug were wondering about that.
No clue.
Doug thought he might have.
Zero clue. No clue.
That he was being traded? That he was on the block?
Another thing was so that it kind of, we were talking about it, and it's like, okay, let's do it. And then we also thought, like, are we missing anything here? Like, what's going on? And we're like, no. We're like, everything has to pass a physical. Like, obviously, it couldn't be like, Q-Tip broke his ankle last night. Like, deal's off type of thing. We're like, well, I guess we'll figure it out.
I mean, it was kind of funny. Like,
so you guys were talking before the game on?
No.
Oh,
but it was also
okay,
like,
Tuesday.
what if someone got hurt after the game and we didn't know about it?
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty aggressive like Tuesday morning. Like, it wasn't. Yes, it was like 7:30 a.m. I think people started getting texts on Tuesday morning. Yeah.
But the trade went down. And so, like, in my head, I'm just like, and I'm thinking, like, man, if we do this trade, I hope I don't have to call someone.
That was like one of the fastest trades.
And then Doug was just like, what do you think of this text to send him? I'm like, you take care of it, because I was already nervous as it was. And
I
it sounded
always
like
made Panny do the trades,
and it sounded like Turtle was just like, I'm not surprised. See, I think it's one of his, like, he's like, oh, okay, good luck, great, good about it. But he also said he wasn't surprised. Okay. So like to me, it was like, him and Crunk are buddies, like trying to reunite the friends, kind of letting him know I'm coming for you, baby.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. That was not part of it at all. He had no idea. No, like there was like several trades like pending at the same time, like, and that one was the one that came through. I hadn't even thought about trying to trade for Turtle until Tuesday morning.
Are you gonna keep Turtle at defense? Are you gonna put him up, or?
I think he's like super flexible, so I think it's gonna be game dependent. And frankly, I mean, if everyone shows up, it might be easier decisions, but with subbing, and we have 11:30 games, so I'm sure we'll have 5 guys show up, right? We'll find out. So, but we can change them either way. Yeah,
it's interesting. We're not 100% sure what our lineup's going to be with this trade. We think it gives us more speed. We think.
I wasn't surprised when I saw that Judge was the guy that you guys got in the trade, because it kind of fits the vibe of the Maroons. So I don't know if he was the guy that you were like, well, but what about him? Because when I saw that trade, I was like, this doesn't surprise me at all. It's very much it's very on brand for the character for the Maroons this season, of guys that are flexible, guys that can move the puck fast. And
we like the flexibility. We like the hockey smarts. Obviously, we think both the guys we traded they were both flexible. They both could play either way. But I don't know. It was just, I think one of the things is our scoring kind of slowed down a little bit. We're still putting up, Sugar's still scoring a lot. That second line's still scoring a lot, but it did feel like things were slowing down a little bit. And we got a hot start last year, and we kind of got into a drought of scoring and stuff like that. And we
feeling a little bit of flashbacks.
As being new GMs, we really weren't aggressive. I don't know if we were actually seeking out trades necessarily. We were inquiring just to kind of see what other people were thinking, type of thing. But it's kind of like when we see an offer that we think can improve the team, it's like, let's not make the same mistake. I don't want to say it's a mistake, but let's be aggressive. We want to try to win the cup or the keg. So we see something that we feel is going to improve the team. Hopefully we're right. So we're going to make a run at it. And at the same time, I hope it helps out hopefully it's a win-win for both teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Trades are good. Right. And that's awesome. And I think it will help both teams.
I mean, like, we could make more trades, right? I mean, like, at this point, like, I feel like it honestly sucked calling Judge. Like, I don't know how, like, Ty did it. Like, to me, like, I took Ty's lead, like, and called, called Judgy and let him know. And, like, it felt bad. Like, it felt like I was crushing him. Like, and I wanted, like, Judge on my team. Like, I love playing with him, right? I mean, but
he's a good dude.
Well, if it makes you feel better, he sent me and Doug a DM pretty darn quick, and he didn't seem too crushed about it. So
he was just trying not to burn bridges.
See, like, I figure this is gonna
he did the Von Miller, like, I went to bed 4-4 and I woke up 7-2 or whatever.
Well, I try. So, like, and I said, like, when I said that in Slack, where I was like, the Americans are, like, are still open for business. Like, I think I'm doing everyone, like, the league a favor, like, all you GMs, because now your players are going to play super hard, because they know if they play like crap, they're getting traded to the Americans.
Now, were you consulting with Whoop on this trade so he knew it was close, or do you think because part of it was also general, like, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I think even things were announced in the Ivory Tower, he was like, spicy trade alert, getting super spicy type of thing. And I didn't say anything, and Doug said he didn't say anything. So we're like, Crunk's got to be consulting with Whoop.
I 100% did not consult with Whoop.
Whoop has eyes and ears everywhere, buddy.
Unless it was Antioch, or unless, maybe you were feeling out feelers to him, and I don't know if you're just like, things are getting closer with other teams.
I mean, I'm
if you
not
want to make better
like,
offers.
tell you every single person I talked to yesterday, but I 100% did not talk to Whoop yesterday. So he has little birds out there.
He
everywhere.
does. He has birdies everywhere.
He's probably in this room right now. He's in the closet.
He might be.
Oh God, that's a scary thought.
Uncle Whoop in your closet. Here's how I found out about the trade.
So we heard a little bit of the backstory. We kind of have a neutral party over here. What are your thoughts on the trade?
Man, so when I first read it, I texted Panny, not being a GM anymore, and I'm like, "Oh, the teams are making trades. What the fuck are you doing?" Right? And exaggerating, but at first I was like, "Fuck the Maroons! Like, they really, like, we already have gone to overtime with them twice." And I was like, they completely won this. I was like, God damn, I got to deal with Judge. But then I thought about him more, and I'm like, Turtle controls a lot of the play out of your guys' zone. So how are you guys going to be able to make up for that now, right? Like, Turtle, that's definitely his strong suit is playing the puck out of the zone. Both of your goals last night, Q-Tip didn't show up on the score sheet, but it was because he was being a pain in the ass in front of the net, distracting me and the defenseman, caused the shooters to be able to score a goal. So I was like, man, that could really help the Americans, a team that's struggling to score.
I walked out of the locker room last night and walked right to the glass, and I was not in a good mood because we just lost. And I looked and I saw Q doing that.
And that's probably that first goal that Pearcy scored, right? And he's crashing that hard. So it's like, as a goalie, my defenseman's gone, right? He's out of the play guarding him. I'm distracted by this, right? And it's like,
he's a pain in the ass. He's a pain in the ass for sure. That's one of the reasons we drafted him, type of thing. So yeah, we fully agree with that. So it's tough. You always got to give something up to get stuff as well. So,
and you guys got Judge, who's, a great playmaker.
He's a great.
Here's another.
I don't think anybody would be upset like me saying, like, he was the best player in the trade. You guys got the best player.
Here's another factor that when we were talking about it, we're like, so if Turtle misses a game, we sub here. If Judge now misses a game, we get to sub essentially anybody in the second round as well. Yeah. So we also looked at it from that of like, that was just another bonus of us kind of like looking at the trade, kind of our opportunities, how we could, help improve the team. So like, If it's missing, that's an extra bonus as well. So, and then Simonelli, he's essentially, unless we sub for Simonelli with Q-tip, we essentially have the same range of subs if there's an out there. So that didn't hurt us at all. We get an advantage if that player is out as well. So we're trying to look at every angle we possibly can.
I think it was a very unique trade where both teams benefited. But as far as like goals are premium in the league and Judge can put the puck in the net, maybe I would give it to the Maroons. But I'm not taking anything away from you guys because I think it really benefited your guys' team chemistry and how, because you guys are already kind of like a grittier team, right? Gumma's already kind of playing that mindset, and like Maki's not afraid to go to the front of the net. So now you got Q-tip doing the same thing, Turtle feeding them the puck, Serta sniping it, Aniak sniping it. I think it's going to benefit you guys a lot too. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I hope it works out for both teams. You know, obviously we don't want to get worse. We want to get better, but you don't want the other team to, we love Q-tip, we love Turtle,
right?
It does other Americans type things. You want it.
I mean, Simonelli. I mean, like they're both.
I
don't
know if I could trade Simmer. Like,
I mean, they're like that was the thing. Like they were both like really good guys.
Right.
I mean, so it.
Well, even as we've talked about
dude,
before,
you're never getting donuts again.
No,
like ever.
No, I'm gonna go grab the pretzel afterwards. I'm gonna get like my hand slapped afterwards.
Well, even as we talked about before, you realistically want those bottom couple teams fighting for the playoff spot. You don't want a team to be like, oh, we're clearly out. So it's like, I'd love the Americans to go on a run, unless they're playing us, of course.
Yeah. They're like, for the record, I think you guys are going to go on a run, just not next week, right? The week after. Then I bold prediction, you guys are going to go on a run.
I mean,
just after next week, because next week you're going to get your chemistry right.
That's true.
Yeah. So trades are always fun. We have a couple more weeks for maybe another one to happen.
Couple more,
and we'll continue on. So let's get on to some games real quick. First game of the night, we had the Seals 5, the Americans 1.
I'll be right back. I need another beer before I talk about this game.
Okay, so I'll give my half-hearted or my half seeing it. I know I was watching the game in the first period, probably most of the second period. It was a close game, back and forth. I think the Americans got up 1-0. I think everybody was fired up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, you're all battling for those playoff spots, and you're cheering for those higher end teams a lot of times to lose when you're trying to make sure you're there. It's like the Americans get a win, Seals don't get any points.
You and I are in a situation, exactly. We want to see the upset because we want you guys to be competitive with the Tigers, right? We want that battle going down the stretch, but at the same time, like we kind of want to gain ground on the Seals.
Exactly. The ice looked horrible.
It looked terrible.
It was so gross.
After that first goal,
it looked like you're playing on a pond.
The Seals, they scored a couple. Then I was in the locker room. We heard the horn go off a couple more times. And, Crunk, let's get your assessment of the game.
I mean, it felt like a lot of the other Americans games this year where we were, I would say until the 10-minute mark in the second period, it was a 50-50 game. If not, the game was slightly tilted in our favor. And it was 1-1. And, after that, they got a couple of goals, and we just can't recover. It's close to a point. And there's really only been a couple of games we've just been blown out this year, like from the jump. Normally, it's competitive for a period, and then it falls apart. We just cannot recover.
The couple times I've subbed for Kayla for you guys, I felt 100% the same way. Where it's like we're controlling play, we're getting there. It's like, okay, we just need a bounce to go our way.
The bounces did just like the pucks don't go in. We just missed like the pass. We just missed that. Yeah. Like the shot just goes wide. The puck just chips over your stick and goes out for a breakaway. Like it's just the random. That's been the most frustrating thing. It hasn't been like we're just like so, so much worse than everyone else. Like it was just it's good for a while and then it falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. You got a new lineup hopefully coming up, that hopefully brings energy. I will say this, the goal number 2 by the Seals was totally Dave P's fault.
Was that the one where he didn't catch the pass?
That's the one where a pass came to him. He totally biffed on it. It went right to another guy. They went down and scored.
Then did a back check.
I think everybody said, "Yep." So that's all on Dave P.
I think I was standing there with you guys because it was like right in front.
Just want to call it out for the record.
So Dave P blamed that one on the same thing. I'll blame my reason I like bumblefucked that breakaway is I'll blame it on the ice.
Ice.
It
probably did hop right in front of him.
It was the ice. Mine, I mean, I know I suck. I mean, but like still, like I chipped it past the defenseman and I'm like, oh my God, I finally have a breakaway. I'm at the red line and then just somehow the puck just vanishes from your stick. It was the weirdest thing. And it happened like more than once last night. It was a weird playing surface last night.
That happens to me when the ice is perfect for the record. So who knows what it truly was.
I mean, I guarantee it wasn't the ice. I mean, but I have to say it was
right. It was the ice.
It was the ice.
It's more or less fun with Dave P though. But I did see Dave P. He looked like he was back to center. Is the Dave P. defensive experience done?
To be determined.
But they got a new lineup coming, so we don't know.
Dave P's a good skater and all. I don't know if he's aggressive enough back there. He needs to, being a little guy, being pushed around. Sometimes he kind of.
Full disclosure, I mean, the guy that I'm trying to beat to like stay relevant this season is sitting across the table too. So I'm probably not going to like give my whole lineup strategy away ahead of time.
Oh, for next week.
That's more than fair. Yeah, Dave P did post, I think in WBW, his overtime championship game winner. For 1 year. It was the most amazing thing ever. I thought Dave is definitely on his way to becoming a scorer now. His kid's playing hockey. He's essentially going to hockey practice, learning skills. And
Dave's a good center. He's a really good face-off man. He's fast enough to play end-to-end, and he's a good setup guy. If you compare him with a shooter, it can be a good scenario.
Yeah, and another 5-6 years when Dave P falls down to the 6th, 7th round, he's going to be great value. But everybody sees that skating ability, the fat, everything else, and you're just like, we can't pass him up now. And
he
then
does
it's just
the
like
occasional spin move that actually works, and you're like, fuck, I gotta draft him in the third.
The curse is strong. I need the North Stars to draft him. The
you
North
sound
Stars
like you're trying to depress his value because you want it for a trade.
No, not at all. He's on
a trade with the same team.
I believe in the curse. I believe in the curse is strong, and I would maybe take a chance on the Ben curse, but not the Dave P curse. Like I said, I need an auto to bring Dave P on a team and see if they can break the curse. They have a lot more magic than I.
We tried in the spring, and
the spring
was
doesn't
close.
count.
We got to the championship game.
Somehow.
I would totally AutoZone. We did not play very well the whole regular season. Snuck into the playoffs.
Right.
In the championship game, close game. Sounds like the American script this year.
We scored more goals in that semifinal game than I think we scored all season.
Sounds like the script for the Americans right now.
Right.
Yep.
It's written.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game. That was going to be the Maroons versus the Nordiques. Went to a shootout with the Nordiques getting the win, technically 3-2. So I'm still bitter about this game. So I'm going to let you start this one, Coan.
I want to hear why you're bitter.
We'll get to that.
Let's hear why you're bitter.
Because Peso scored and the goal ref didn't call it. And
Peso didn't score.
Whoever it was in question, that puck went in.
That puck did not go in.
Okay.
Anyways, so we'll start with it. I think it was a good competitive game. Yes, obviously, I think we played each other twice. It's been pretty darn even both games. Went to overtime both games. Was it a shootout both games? I think
so. Yeah, because I think Edge won it for you guys last time in the shootout.
Same type of thing as well. I thought it was going hard back and forth. You guys scored first. We got our goal. I'm trying to think. We got the first goal. Peso, I believe it was, and then Hardy got that goal right at the end of the second period.
Yeah.
To me, the game is being reffed away. Sugar's getting hacked and whacked. I feel like Hal had one of his calls he gets every week that is an interference call. Hal's a smart guy, and he uses his bender status to get away with a lot of stuff. He essentially took out Edge type thing. Stuff's being let.
Should have been standing there.
Things. Give me a break. Our first game that we played, the Nordiques, I'm skating backwards, and Hal essentially stood there, like got in my way and hit me from behind. Is like not a hit, but like blocked me as a wall from behind.
He's a big guy, man.
That definite interference called there as well. Essentially, it's Proctor's coming at me type of thing. He gets away with that all the time.
Are you accusing Hal of setting the pick?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 100%. When I was on Sugar's line last year, I used to do that shit all the time.
Doesn't matter.
Basically just set the pick for Sugar to go on breakaway.
It's one thing when it's an open ice and you essentially do that. It's an obvious interference call. That's like, so the refs are calling the game, but the refs are letting everything go. Sugar's getting hacked and whacked.
Sure.
Whatever. It's letting go. And then all of a sudden, with a couple minutes left, you start blowing the whistle for stuff. Like, to me, the Peso Busto one shouldn't have been a call.
That probably shouldn't have.
That one wasn't there. I didn't really see the sugar one. It probably was borderline. The Q-tip one, okay. But to me, when you're not making those other calls, you don't make these. You got to be consistent. I don't care if it's a bender, if it's not. Plus, the Peso goal. That was a goal. Ite saw it. Peso saw it.
Oh, so the guys on your team saw it.
I trust Ite. I trust Crunk.
Ite.
All those people. So I don't know. I am bitter
I talked
about
to a
that.
lot of people that were like on like the same plane as where the ref was, and they said they saw it. It probably likely crossed the goal line, but I also, and like not like the puck was on the ice and I like did like that shimmy shake, like ooh, that puck didn't go in. I whipped around as it's beating me and like knocked it out of the air with my glove, reaching behind my back. So like I'm sure if we went to Toronto, we would know that puck crossed the line. It probably did. But the ref didn't see it that way, right? I mean, from all different angles, it could look totally different.
Either way, like I said, I was bitter off of it. It's more about.
I mean,
I feel like the refs were calling the game one way to start, and then they essentially the last couple minutes.
If you want to take
it.
your maroon shaded glasses off, you'll realize the second goal that Sugar sprung loose for a breakaway. That was a cute little move by Turtle to not be at the faceoff dot when the puck was dropped. He was standing between my fucking defensemen at their dot to chip the puck to Sugar going to breakaway with 2 seconds left to go on the clock, dude. So I mean, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can play this game all day long. It's
So then don't even take the goals out of it. But to me, call the game consistent. Like,
I thought it was called very consistently. Yeah, I mean, there was times where like other guys were thrown into the boards and it wasn't called. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hockey.
I thought it was one of the worst games I've seen called in MNL. So that was my opinion. Like I said, I'm bitter. I'm admitting it.
Yeah.
And I haven't said anything about it in Slack, but we're doing a podcast, so then it kind of comes out. So that's what I said. Now let's hear your thoughts.
I mean, we've been bickering about it for the past 5 minutes. I thought it was a great game. I would agree that Busta call was kind of weak, but the other ones were fairly legitimate, dude. I mean, but I thought it was a great game.
I thought it was a really good game. It was a really fun game. It was super competitive. It was tight the whole way. Like it was like those are the fun games. Like,
it felt like a playoff game in midseason, to be honest with you.
It was a fun game. Like I said, I'm bitter about it. Like when you lose games like that, you're always not happy about it.
I felt the same way last time we played you guys.
But outside of that, like you like those competitive games back and forth. It's always nice.
You need a little drama.
Down. Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. We still got a point out of it. That's the good news. But we're never happy. You want your team to be mad when those games you don't go your way.
Absolutely.
Type thing. But at the same time, there's also a lot of times too, you do need to defend your players. I mean, look at how many times Trent or someone else in the beginning of the year were like, these refs, we got to talk to them, blah, blah, blah. It's no different there. Like Sugar gets hacked has been getting hacked and slashed all year.
Slashed a lot.
Nothing gets called on him, but then he gets a call like that type of thing. So it's the tough part, and
I've drafted him 4 or 5 times. I mean, it is true. He does get whacked a lot.
From a ref's perspective, like I will say most of the top round guys, like if you ask any of them, like it is,
they all
like,
say the same thing.
They all say they get hacked, right?
Yeah.
And it's true because they all get hacked, right? Like
the only way for guys to keep up with those
in men's league, you're going like if you're the guy that's attacking the puck, you're gonna get hacked, and like it's a bad situation to put the ref in. Like if you really want him to call it that way, there's going to be a lot of guys in the box because of like the talent disparity.
Right.
And it's very tough too, because
you're going to see the mid to low range defenseman never be able to keep up with.
When the benders are falling down, it's a lot easier to make those calls. And a lot of times the benders, they really get, like in my opinion, they get called mostly for like a trip or like a big slash.
They'll get called for one of those.
Like those
a lot of the other like ones, like unless Sugar like loses possession of the puck and he got hacked a little bit, like if he still just fought through it because he's just a way more talented player than most guys in MNL, right?
Yeah,
that he's not going to get that call.
I know, and it sucks, right? Because like if to his point, it's like, well, dude, what the fuck, and I know it was the same thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Probably the last time we had a podcast with Matt Taylor, right? Because it was basically what drove Matt Taylor to be like, I'm done with this shit.
And it's the same thing. I mean, Sugar's on our team. We love Sugar. You got to stick up for your guys,
stick up for your boy.
Type of thing. You can't just always not say anything as much as whatever. So you got to stick up for them.
But at the same time, we've been MNL for 6 years now, and we've like on our 6th group of refs. Like, are we ever gonna find
there's no easy solution. It'd be nice to have a bigger pool because I do think the refs kind of learn players, but
They do. Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? I don't think our refs are any worse than a beer league, you know,
They're
tonight,
literally
or
probably
a lot of them
same
are the
refs we're
same
gonna have
guys type
tonight.
of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It does suck. The final 5 minutes of a game, the whistles probably should be in the pocket unless if it's like super egregious.
My big thing is like just consistent. Be consistent,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, I would like
what-
consistency. I think it was
Right.
last
Don't,
week.
Don't buckle
where-
down in the
like
final 5
when
minutes.
I'm reffing, like if I, you know, not that like what I do is like everyone should do, right? I mean, but like if I end up calling like some like trips and hooks, right? Like that maybe are more on the weak side, like I have to like keep that consistent. Like I can't
throughout the game at least.
right. I
yeah.
can't just stop calling something or then start calling. Like more importantly, I can't like start calling something I've been
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
go for 2
Yeah,
periods.
Right.
my
That's
my
the
biggest
most
thing is
That's
the
where people get
right,
in trouble.
like-
my
yeah.
biggest thing is the consistency, which I felt wasn't there, and I think it was last week. Those whistles were out left and right, like
Mhm.
all little small calls.
Who'd you guys play last week?
I don't even think it was our game. It was overall there was
Oh, they were
whistles like
calling
left
for it,
and right.
yeah.
People in the box, like tons of people, and at least with those tic tacs were going across the board. They were being consistent type thing where it's like, okay, careful type of thing. They're calling stuff like be consistent across the board. You don't like those little mini calls,
Yeah.
but if you're doing it for everything, it's a little bit more acceptable.
What I loved about our game, like I said, is it felt like a playoff game in the middle of the season, and it felt like it was competitive but not dirty. It was. I mean, I know there was penalties, but there wasn't. You know, the guys were fighting for the puck. They were trying to get the W, but they weren't. No one was out there being aggressively dirty or anything like that.
It's
yeah.
one.
Just
It's
a
one
tough,
of the
you know,
things
gritty
that
game,
make
like-
MNL really fun.
Yeah.
You know, type of thing compared to, you know, you're playing in a beer league team. You play some
Yeah.
new team.
Some
They come out
random
and you're just like, who
dude.
the fuck is
Yeah.
this team? And they just trounce. you.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
Maybe next time through the rotation we won't go to overtime shootout.
yeah.
Although we've given MNL what they want, lots of Bender overtime, and you guys controlled that Bender OT, absolutely controlled it.
It was fun.
Fernande had a beautiful shot. I think he had 2 of them that were like grade A scoring chances.
He had a nice slapper.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the last game. We had the Whalers versus the Tigers. Well, Hetes isn't here, so I don't know. Did
Yeah.
anybody actually see this game?
I stayed the whole time because I started talking to Sugar. So yeah.
I did not see a minute of that game.
I was sulking, or I was a little fuming, and I decided I didn't really. So I think I was in the locker room for the first period and a half, and I was just like, I'm gonna sound like a bitch complaining to people if I stick around. So I just don't want to do that. So why don't you give us a little bit your sight on the game?
What was the final score? Because I'm trying to remember exactly how it went down.
3-2?
3-2, but that
3-2.
apparently was a shootout for the win.
That's right. Yeah. It was just a very low scoring defensive battle type of a game. Drago getting the puck again, scoring again, doing his thing. What's ironic is I think he broke the scoring, if I remember correctly. He scored the first goal of the game. And he had a grade A chance coming off the boards, and like the MNL cheering sessions going crazy for him. The blue light party deck's going wild. The puck just kind of rolls off of his stick and it goes behind the net, and then someone else picks it up, and then like a slap shot comes from the boards, and like he literally is just like skating by, and like the rebound comes from behind the net, like hits him on his like backhand, and he just like shovels it in. So it's like he had this beautiful chance, doesn't do anything with it, and then he scores that. But when you're hot, you're hot.
He might be an untouchable player for the Tigers right now.
I don't blame them. Yeah, and then I think
We went to a shootout. Didn't Dougie Fresh score the
Dougie
winner?
Fresh scored the game winner, and yeah, I mean it went deep into the shootout. It was good back and forth between Cam and Hetes. If it was nice to see
What
Cam
was
back.
Dougie's? Was it a move or was it a shot? Fill us in.
He just did like a little like shimmy shake with a shot. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah. You know,
Doug,
there's
that doesn't really surprise me, Doug. You know, just a little
shimmy shake.
Yeah, a little shoulder shake. You know.
yeah, I'm really surprised we have the rule that everybody has to go before you can repeat essentially.
Because we already have Bender overtime. So like the Benders.
We have the
already
Bender
gotten there.
overtime. We're worried about with the 11:30 game starts. I know as someone, I don't want to go in a shootout. Like,
Right. If it's gone 3 rounds, just basically.
I definitely
restart.
want to go in a shootout.
oh no, like we're at like 8 or
If I'm
9
like
right
the
now.
7th guy, yeah. I mean, like make it fair. Like
Yeah,
let's
like you guys
go.
haven't scored. Let me try.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, as a goalie, sometimes it's the lower round guys that will end up scoring.
Doug scored. He was like you said, probably the
Yeah.
5th, 6th, 7th guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like
I've
give
when I've
everyone a
skated,
chance.
when I've skated out, I've scored multiple times in the shootout, and I think it's because goalies are like, dude, this guy's ankles are like on the ice. He can barely move, and like you just hit him with a little shimmy, and they don't know what to do.
Then the knuckle puck comes.
Then the knuckle puck, and then you celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, so 2 overtime games. What time did that game end at?
Dude, I got home at like 1:15.
Oh,
Yeah, I was an idiot. I don't know why. Honestly, I was gonna leave. I started talking with Sugar.
Yeah, I think I have pretty much an.
I think either you're getting robbed or Hetes is here.
Oh God, either one is scary. Well, we get 20 minutes.
At least you know
ahead.
we don't have to call in the Clausen PD. You're not getting robbed. It's just Hetes.
Yeah, that's good at least.
Okay, so
But we were just talking about your game.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Possibly game of the year. I'm going to throw that out there. That was pretty exciting. I don't know. I thought goal with like a minute left.
That's a billion times better than the breakdown we just got.
Sorry. I don't remember a lot from it, to be honest.
You're
like I watched
don't know,
it. I watched
3-2,
it.
I don't
but-
know. Shimmy shake. Game over. Tired.
I was tired.
okay, Hetes, why don't you give us your 2-minute breakdown of the game before we move on?
Oh Lord. Okay. I don't know. I felt that the game was very defensively oriented from both teams. Both teams kind of were afraid of the big line, and then both teams' second line. So I mean, obviously it was what Rick, Trent, and Justin on the first line for the Whalers, and our first line was Fem Skillman and Ben. And I felt that we did a neutral zone kind of like, let Trent and Rick bring the puck in the neutral zone, make them try to beat all 3 of our good players one-on-1. And for the most part, I mean, we kind of prevented those chances. Granted, they did get a few more towards the second and the third. Oh, the camera's there too, huh? More towards the second and third period when there was odd man situations with penalties and whatnot. But and in some chances, like Pandy, for example, had a nice one in the third period where Rick was coming down the right-hand side, and he gave him the old Pandy copter, so that was pretty spicy. But for the most part, it felt like our first line and their first line nullified each other, so it came down to both teams' grind lines, and which was kind of like Sub-City. I mean, they had Pellet and Troy in, we had Dougie and Drager in, so they had more. I don't want to say they had more quality chances. I felt they did because they had a couple more power plays than we did. I think they had 3 power plays to our 1. So I felt when they were able to stack their power play for their first goal, for example, which was really nice. It was like Woodsy, Trent, and Rick. They had a lot of shots and generated a lot of chances. But at the end of the day, we got the first goal. They got the second goal, I think, beginning of the third period. So it was 1-1 going to third period after we got the Dragon scores at the end of the second period off of Joel Lewis back of the boards bounce.
So that was an accurate description of what happened.
No, that was 100%. And then Skillman had probably the nicest Tiger goal all season with like a turnaround bar down ski from like the NHL Hits 2002 hotspot. You know how like you shoot and your guy lights on fire?
Yeah.
That's what Skillman did. He got his little spot, his OV spot turn spun and picked off the bar. And then the Whalers answered right back with minute 6 left on the clock.
Yeah.
I looked up and I just did one of those eyes to the sky thing. I'm like, are you kidding me? Where Rick drove the puck in, dished it far side, and then they brought it down low, collapsed our defense, and then they were able to kick it into a screaming. I don't know if maybe Matt Lapudre was screaming like a screaming eagle skating, but like
He was kind of.
he was kind of
he
for
skated into that
Lapudre's speed.
shot.
For Lapudre's
Yeah.
speed, he got a couple strides in there, and then he just kind of like ripped a nice wrister and it went like bink off the bar. I was like,
That was a good
no.
shot. Yeah. I do remember that now.
I don't know if you guys touched on OT any, but the Bender OTU is kind of exciting.
It was, yeah.
I think a couple breakdowns happened.
Then we talked about Doug with the winner and the shootout.
And the
so-
shootout, which was nice. But I mean, we went like 7 shooters deep a piece. I think he was, or 6 shooters deep a piece. So it was definitely nice to win the night with Dilly coming down on me. He shaked, he baked, he got me to move. I just threw out the old spider leg on him. So I definitely own him a pack of high noons after like for the first half second, I'm like, I went to go celebrate with him. Like, oh, he's not on my team. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, fuck it. And I'm like,
I was wondering what that was all about. I was like, dude, what are you
At first, I thought he was on my team because this was one of those like things like you win and you're like you looking for your people for like a half second, and then after that half second, I'm like, oh fuck, it's Dilly. All right, well whatever. I'm just gonna go with it at this point. So then that's why I patted him on the head. So definitely owe him a pack of high noons.
So I do think one of the most cockiest things I've ever seen in MNL was after Slick Rick came down for his shootout goal. Hetes over here, super spicy, gives him the wave. He shoot him. You shoot him out of there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you did, dude. You took your glove and you shoot him. Get out of here.
Oh,
that was
what
some big dick shit right there.
No, I mean, I was more of like I mean, I don't think I like shoot. I think
You
it was
shoot
more of
him,
like
dude.
it was like
No,
it was more me. Honestly,
There
it
is a shoot.
was more me hype myself up. Like, oh, they're not getting another fucking goal. I'm gonna stop everything. It was more me trying to hype myself up. If it looked like that, I'll take it. It makes me look more like an asshole. But I mean, it was more me just hype myself
Everyone
up.
in the blue light party deck was like, "Oh shit, shoot, baby."
Yeah,
Okay, so Hetes, you're here now.
yeah, sure.
We'll kind of back up just a slight bit. You know the trade.
Yeah, I know the trade. I haven't listened to you guys when I was driving down on my way here.
Just want to
so.
hear your basic thoughts on the trade.
I hate the mantra. Everyone's like, "Oh, both teams win." Can I pair it like both teams kind of lost a little bit? Can I say that? Because
I want to hear your opinion. Your opinion is
okay. I mean,
first of all, I said I hope both teams win. I don't know
Okay.
if I said
I
think
think
win.
oh, I think Coan kind of put that. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like this trades of all the trades kind of in the past couple of years I've seen Monday Night Lights. It has the most like neutral players involved, but with like the highest like propensity for like variability. Like I feel like you're gonna either both teams are gonna win, it's gonna be fantastic, or both teams are gonna hate this trade and they're gonna dislike it. Because in my opinion, like I'm not gonna throw like the old rumor mill out there, but there was a few teams that were looking at Q-Tip, I think, and I know that the Americans kind of swooped in and picked him up before a couple of other teams were looking at trading for him. So because he's one of those few guys like you had mentioned, Coan, where he's like you, or he's like Pellet, where they get to the front of the net and they cause havoc. They screen goals.
Yeah,
that's how the Whalers. That's how Whalers got their first goal on me yesterday. That's how they got one of the goals on you yesterday when they were
both of them were
posting up.
Q-Tip crashing the net, just doing his thing.
And in Monday Night Lights, where you don't have guys that have that, you don't have up and down the roster. You have guys that can make that single player individual skill play. You rely on rebounds and getting pucks like chaos in front of that to score.
Chaos,
so So I mean, Q-Tip's got a high upside. Turtle can play. I mean, they both can play up and down your guys' lineup. Same thing with like I guess the Maroons. I feel like you mentioned that the Maroons got the best player in the trade.
Yeah,
I do, like skill wise. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Judge is the type of goal scorer that like maybe the Americans were expecting him to be, or he kind of
he's
is.
not like a bona fide goal scorer, right?
Yeah,
he can put the puck in the back of the net, but he's not like that guy that like every time he has the puck, you're like, oh, he's gonna score a goal.
I feel like see that's kind of me. I feel like more Judge is more of like a better playmaker. But the good thing about the Maroons, and maybe you guys lost a little bit of your roster flexibility by trading away two guys that are like guaranteed forward defense or can go forward defensemen. I feel like maybe Judge in your guys' lineup has to play forward, but like him and Peso together. Oh, that sounds so scary.
If they can learn how to play together and pass the puck,
our
and
thoughts
all that
with
and share the
Judge is
puck,
with the Americans. He felt like he had to do a lot of stuff on his own. He felt like he didn't have a lot of help. He was moving. He was.
Oh, gee, this tells how you really feel.
Little slip there.
But yeah, we felt like there was a lot of. We feel like if we can get him on a line where he feels like he has more help, can pass the puck around more, and not rely on other people, it's going to hopefully open up his skill set. Is our thinking there? We know he's a highly skilled player. We know he's a good skater. The only thing he has is every once in a while he has a lot of tires being blown. Outside of that, he's a pretty complete player. I think he played club hockey possibly at Western. He always has
It was his girlfriend. Yeah, but either way, I mean,
he played high level.
He looks the
growing
part.
up,
He looks the part,
Yeah.
right? So
whatever. We think by he might not be that guy is like a first round pick that you throw him out there like a Proctor or those guys that
on an
give me
island.
the puck. I'm on an island. He's not necessarily one of those guys, but he's a really good player. You put him with the right guys, he's going to excel. We think by putting him on our team, that's what he's going to do.
And he's like defensively responsible. He may not be out sniper, but he's also defensively responsible.
Yes.
So if you pair him with, for example, Peso,
Real smart player.
Yeah.
like
And it allows Peso to not have to be defensively responsible.
so deep, anyways. Yeah, I mean, like Peso will still back. I mean, back. I know that's a heresy word to Troy Otto. Peso still backs checks.
He
but
actually, he's
yeah.
become a very defensive, responsible forward.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, not 180 feet down to between the hash marks and the hash marks, but it matters. So like I said, I don't know. I feel like my inkling is I feel like for a lot of teams, it's kind of like this week, last week, week before, you wanted to kind of move your rosters, you want to make a trade, but we're getting to the point in the season where it's like it's almost, in my mind, almost too kind of late to trade because we're like a little over the halfway point, and then like the end of the second rotation, it's done. There's only 6 games left after that. I mean, America's only 2 games back of us. I think they're 3 games back of the Maroons, or 3.5 back of the Maroons. Technically, you're only 2.5.
They're 12 points behind.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, there can be some games.
It's really between the two of us.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
trying to
really
catch
the
up
only
to
ones
us.
we really have a realistic shot against.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it can work. I just think for I thought what you guys might have done was take one of like your higher level guys and just trade for more and trade for 2
Depth.
more middle depth. Yeah, and
you should ask Skillman about that.
But I mean, it depends what everybody wants, right? So and like how people value their guys. So it just means your guys' lineup will probably have to be kind of similar to ours, where you have like a star line, or in the Whalers, a star line and a starve line sort of thing, right? So
And then kind of moving on, as you're talking about, just threw up the standings on the screen. We have 3 teams that have played 10 games already: Seals, Whalers, Tigers. So one of the things is, yes, the Tigers are 5 points ahead, but they're 1 game ahead as well in games played. So that does help your guys' case if you win your next game. And I think they're on the bye. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we are on the
But all
bye.
of a sudden now you're 2 points behind, and that's very doable. 5 points sounds like a lot, but with that game, that's a
And
big thing.
if I'm right, we play the last game of the season against each other.
Ooh.
the second to last.
I think that's
No,
right
or
too,
the
because
last.
you guys. I
it's
think
the
you guys
last.
played
Yeah.
the last
We
game
played
on
the
the
last
turn.
game of the season.
Yeah, at the
Nice.
9:30 slot.
Ooh.
Who would have
Prime
thought?
time.
It would be
It
pretty
is
sweet.
written.
I mean, if we can make it work where it comes down to that game, that'd be pretty cool.
That would
I
be
mean,
pretty
it's
cool.
almost like a playoff game.
Yeah, the top 2 teams in the league right now, the Seals and the Whalers, both have 10 games played. The next 3, are at the 9 games. So Maroons, they're starting to get out of that hunt for that, bye. But with a win this coming week, it could put us right back in there. But we're looking fairly good for the playoffs still. So, I think obviously, it's a very competitive year. I think the Americans haven't necessarily been competitive. Hopefully, this trade will help them. But outside of that, the Tigers haven't had the best luck, but they haven't been an easy team to beat. Hetes coming back from his
It's been huge.
has been a big help as well. So
Just having consistency. In that, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why that's the biggest thing I
Yeah.
think is just
having
having
consistency.
even before the trade, after our loss in the locker room, it was just like we think we can beat anybody in the
Yeah.
league, but possibly
have a
anybody
really
in the
consistent
playoffs,
roster.
anybody in the league can also possibly beat us. So
Yeah.
that's the scary part.
Yep.
The other scary part, and like I said, we're looking more and more. The chance of us getting the bye is going down. Having that 1 game just sucks
really
because anything
scary.
can happen.
Yeah.
We saw what
It
happened
happened
last
to you
year with
guys
the
last year.
Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the big thing was the Tigers last
Right.
year.
Right. I mean, they were down for the count, and then all of a sudden they win a game next.
Yeah,
week,
they
and
were
then they win
looking.
a series. and they're in the
Everybody,
finals.
the poor Tigers,
Yeah.
they're horrible. They win a couple games, they sneak into the playoffs, and all of a sudden they're in the finals. It's
Yeah.
like, so why can't it happen this year? I don't
Mhm.
know, especially with our competitiveness.
Anything can happen.
Any given Monday.
Got to get in there.
So when's the next trade going down, Crunk?
I don't know. Make me an offer.
I'm not the lead negotiator. I'm the back end guy that reviews a trade and says no, yes, and then just make tweaks. Doug's a lot more personable, and
I think Coan can talk to his people, even though he's not a GM, and his people will talk to other people, and then a trade might happen. But
I stay out of it, man. I enjoy not being a GM. It just
You enjoy not being a
showing
GM.
up and stopping pucks, man. It's so much easier.
and then you're still in the ivory tower, so you see any
Yeah, I
gossip
still
going
get to,
on.
dabble in there, provide. I'm like middle management, Pearcy. I get to give an opinion on things and then not actually do anything.
assistant to the regional manager.
Right, yeah.
There was one time this year that I was almost like, we should kick him out of the ivory
What
tower.
I do?
I think someone asked you to ask the goalie channel something, and you
Oh.
refused. And I'm just like,
Dude, I was super stressed at work, and that nothing pisses me off more than can you ask the goalies? And I'm like, tell your fucking goalie who's gonna miss to ask his goalies, right? Why is it my responsibility? I'm not the liaison for the goalies. Shit drives me wild.
No, I mean,
it was like, well, you're
you're
in the channel anyways. It's not gonna hurt you, type of thing. And I'm just like, if he's not gonna be nice enough to do that, why is he in here?
I had a really shitty day at work that day, and you're right. I did deserve to get kicked off for that.
But I'm just like, I'm not doing it. I don't care that much. But it was just like, why is he here then?
I do. I can actually 100% remember that. My boss was getting on me about some stupid shit, and yeah, that was.
It's not the end of the world. We can laugh about it. I like how it's just like, why is he here? And you're like, oh, I could see that. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Hetes, do you have anything else you want to cover? I mean,
I don't know if you guys did your Tony Romo like over unders or anything.
Do we have time? I mean, we got the
we
K-Fox
got
here
10,
in a little
15
bit.
minutes.
Okay, if you guys want to dive into, I wrote it down. Inside.
Yeah.
Heckin' yeah, bin it up, baby.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I had one over under too. So
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a couple scenarios out there. We're about halfway through the season, and I'm gonna put a prediction out there, and you guys tell me: are you guys gonna buy that, or are you guys gonna sell it? So, the Tigers, Drago, man. When you look at that top scoring in the league, you see a bunch of green there, then you get one red, and it's my boy Drago up there in the top 10 scoring, tied for the league or his team in goals with 5. Is he gonna? I think he's gonna finish in the top 10 in scoring. You guys gonna buy or sell that?
I'm gonna give it the old.
Well, he's your
I'll
boy.
go. He's my
Right.
boy first, and I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's not. I'll give the old Dragon. Yeah, I think
he could do it.
I think he's gonna end up tied for 10th. For top 10 scoring. He'll end up with
Because there's
like
a big cluster of guys that score like that 7 to 8 goal range.
yeah, he'll end up with 8 goals and like 8 goals and we'll say like 1 assist or 2 assists and be tied.
This
for
is
10th.
just goals. This is
just goals.
Just put the puck in the net.
Oh,
baby.
I'm
That's all
selling.
he does. He's not an assist.
oh, then
guy.
100%, no
Okay.
questions about it.
I'm gonna sell. Obviously he's had a great run, but statistics say that this will not last. People are gonna start putting their best defensemen out there against him. They're gonna
Pay a little
start
more
keying
attention.
on him.
Pay a little
You
more
know,
attention to him.
The mission's gonna be we have to shut down Drago. So I
Right.
think there's just gonna be too much attention brought to him to have him be able to keep it up. Double teaming, throwing him down on the ice, maybe taking a few penalties is like,
Ooh.
setting the tone for him to be like, we don't put up with this shit here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going in the box for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But you're gonna remember
You're
that,
not-
and you're gonna think
Was
twice.
Troy and Otto not on the ice against Drago the entire night,
I don't know.
time last night? He was.
Was
He
he
was.
the shadow?
He was a shadow.
Drago.
Yeah, that was his assignment.
Desert swarm. Desert swarm Drago.
I'm gonna selfishly say that he does finish top 10.
Why selfishly?
Selfishly, I think if Drago ends up in the top 10 of scoring,
Yeah.
that's probably not good for the Tigers, I would say.
Okay.
Ooh,
I
I
thought you
like
were gonna
the
go
strategy.
with like the. Okay. Yeah. I
So
like it.
I would then say that would be good for the Americans and something that we would need. So I will say yes, he does finish. Go Drago.
Okay. Nice. I like that mindset. So real quick, I think the Americans, we've kind of talked about it a little bit. 1 win on the season, just executed a trade. I think they're going to go on a little bit of a tear here after next week. I think they'll end up finishing the season with 4 wins and be very competitive at the end of the season. Would you guys buy or sell that? 4 wins would put you guys pretty much with the Tigers at that last game of the season to win it.
4 wins, you're saying total?
4 more wins for 5 wins total.
I'm
That'll
gonna
get you a playoff spot in MNL.
sell. I'm gonna sell.
Okay.
I'm gonna sell that. The reason I'm gonna sell that is because I think from my math through the years, usually 12 points.
The magic points usually only
12
about
points or
yeah.
under is what the team that misses the playoff makes.
Mhm.
I can't see the Tigers are already at 8. That's tough. So just mathematically, throughout the years in MNL, it says that the team that misses the playoffs is going to have 12 points or under. So I have to sell that number just based on statistics alone.
Okay. Bring the mathematical approach. You're buying.
I'm
Obviously.
going to buy the number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I like add extra odds to buy 4, not like the 4 and over? And
Sure,
just, like,
yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
take, I'll
All
take
in.
the 4. I mean,
Okay.
2 wins against the Tigers. I got that one chalk. And then
check. Okay.
Yeah, check. And I just got to find 2 other wins. So,
Well, you're going to beat the Maroons because you're going to fire up Q-Tip and Turtle.
so yeah, I'm going to buy that.
Now you just need one more.
Would you? You think they can get to 5 wins?
What, 5 wins?
Yeah.
No, I'm 100% selling that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but like, and even if because there's only, you guys have 9 games left. I mean, you have a game in hand, correct?
Mhm.
So technically you have 7
They've only
games.
played.
I mean, that's our roadmap. Is
They have 7 games
we beat
left.
them
It's
twice.
16
Yeah.
total
Yeah,
games
right?
they
So
played.
even if they beat,
You
and
have to
even if
beat
you
them.
technically
and
were to
then
beat
we've
us
got
twice,
a
and
turn
you,
through the rest of the league at a
they
couple
have to
of
go.
those
They
teams
have to go
twice.
4-3 the rest of the way.
yeah, they're not. No, that's not happening. 100% not happening.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, I could see what I see more likely. What could happen is I could see you getting to like 12 or 13 points or something if you get some like OT losses in
Yeah.
there mixed in there.
Sprinkling.
Those
a
are most
couple-
likely. Yeah, those are more likely result for between our 2 teams because like
Yeah.
our 2 teams can muck it up.
Steal a couple.
Yeah, try to
a point
steal.
here or
Yeah, like
there.
I mean, last night against the Whalers, right?
Yeah.
Like we had a point guaranteed, but no matter what, we get 2, could get 1 to shoot out. You never know what happens, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like
Drago could get really hot, score a bunch of goals for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
and-
I feel like that 13
Don't worry
point mark.
about it.
I feel like that 13, 14 point mark's kind of where it's at. Where's the Maroons at right now, point
They're
wise?
at 15.
They're at 15. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be hard to get anybody catch them.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but for me, I mean, just because I'm playing on the Tigers and
Right.
everyone,
If
you're trying to catch me, I gotta sell it.
We're gonna be
Yeah, I
like,
gotta
you're
sell
wrong.
it.
You're gonna be like, you're wrong.
Yeah, I gotta sell it.
So kind of like flipping the script and going to the top end of the league, you look at those top 5 teams, there's only 4 points separating those guys. So we're all basically still in the battle for who's going to end up going to get the bye week the first week. Would you buy or sell the fact that the Nordiques and the Golden Seals will end up being the teams on the bye?
I'm selling that. I would say right now my pick would be the Golden Seals and the Whalers. I'm still going with those.
Yeah.
Whalers
Whalers are good.
The Nordiques, they're a solid team. Obviously, they played us tough, but they're like the Maroons. Anybody can beat them, but they can beat anybody as well.
What makes 100%. And I want to circle back to something you said. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Those two teams in particular, I also would have to sell. Not that you guys have a good team.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's. I mean, everyone keeps counting out the North Stars when specifically Chad Polinsky is in the lineup. That's right, Chad. Heard it here first.
Tip
Draft
jar.
picks going up. Tip jar emoji. Drake Horn. When he's in the lineup on their second line, like the North Stars are like an impossible like. They have 5. So yeah, when he's in the lineup and on their second line, they're like 4-1-1. Yeah, 4-1-1, I think, or 4-2. They're 4-1-1, or they're 4-2-1. I think he's missed 2 games. But like they have like their win percentage is double. Like he and especially when they were on that like win 5 for 5 whatever streak. Like he is the stir, as Uncle Whoop says, for that drink in the second line. So for me, I feel like the North Stars will be one of those two teams, and I think just because Uncle Whoop has that, has the Pete angst, and they have some past 9:30 games, and Pete shows up, and the Seals got their mojo going.
That's true. The Pete, they're better when they play later because Pete has
Chad
the conflict with the
Polinsky
eldest.
currently a plus 300 in the
and the money line.
odds for league MVP.
That's fair. I would take that.
Wow,
But
I'd take that too. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say probably the Seals, North Stars, and then if the trade goes how you guys want it and like it's to the roof, then I would actually put you up there. Your 3 team, the Maroons, Seals, and
More likely than the Nordiques.
Yeah, unfortunately, just because. I mean, of all the teams, like scoring wise, of
Was
the
that
top
the answer,
teams,
or was it just the top 2 teams?
it's just the top 2 teams. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's
okay.
either, yeah.
Just wondering.
You talk. Go ahead. I'm just like rattling on. So
I was actually going to agree with you and say the Seals and the North Stars.
Seals, North Stars?
Yeah, those are the 2 that I think. One, the North Stars have a game in hand, so yeah, they're 2 points back, but
Right.
I mean, they still got another game. And I don't know. Troy's got a knack for like if there's something not quite right in his team, like he will make a trade. Like
And he also finds ways to like make his team better just by like coaching someone, like coaching, like
Just
how do you
just
get grown men to
indiscriminately
get
yelling
motivated?
at. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
weird.
it's fear of being yelled at.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then you get traded.
Yeah.
So
Super quick, you wanted to circle back to something?
Yeah, the Nordiques are just a really unique team, and like you said, we have the ability to beat go through the round and beat an entire all 6 games in a round of games. But I could easily see our team losing all 6 of them too, because we've probably played the most 1-goal games. So
Yeah, the Nordiques with 24 goals for 14 plus 10, which that makes it look good, but
it makes it look good. Our goal differential's tied for top in the league, but it's because we have a really
because you've been playing out of your mind.
Good defense in front of me.
I was about to say,
And
yeah,
I feel
because
like
you guys-
the last couple of games you guys have scored a little bit more goals. Where the beginning of the year your
Yes. Oh
goals
my
for
gosh.
were super low, which
We-
makes it scary. And that's the tough part where your team is you're winning those games, but you're struggling to score. It puts that extra pressure on your defense, on your goalies, everything else. But we're hitting 10:30. I think we should wrap it up from there.
We gotta get going. We got a big game.
I
Okay, you
had
have
one.
you wanted
I
to
had
hit.
one. I had one sell or buy. So league perennial favorite. Everybody loves Paul Proctor. This year he only has 9 goals. By the end of the season, will Paul Proctor meet the 20-goal mark and more, or will he be under 20 goals?
Under.
Under
I'm gonna say under.
as well. He's on your team. You mean you
He's
don't
on
need to be
my
honest.
team.
Yeah, I mean you guys aren't a high scoring team. You guys kind of do have him on an island a little bit, but
We have him on a bit of an island. Well, I mean,
not a super island.
CT sets him. You know, he plays a different style, and I think he pairs well with CT. I think he'll get to the 20 goal mark. I think he started the season off slow, and I think he'll get there.
I do must say that
I a 4 spot any night, right?
Yeah.
And there goes,
he
scored really easy.
He scored both of our goals last. On Monday,
I did notice, and I have to think it was by design that the Nordiques put Proctor on the opposite side of me.
I don't know.
They wanted to keep him away. And
we wanted to keep him away from the practice shopper.
The one time he came at me one-on-one, what happened? I checked it away from him.
Yeah.
So,
and I saw you even taught Turtle Tim that move too, because Turtle did it a few times. So.
Pearcy did a little.
See, that's why we made the
Pearcy
trade.
did a little shimmy, little Steph Curry shimmy after he poked it away.
I just gotta point that out. That's all I'm saying. So
it was a great game.
There's a reason I'm called the Proctor Stopper.
There's a reason.
But yeah, we got a game to play, so we are over.
Go K Falcons.